The Silence Under Your Bed, which is entirely about two teenagers ordering pizza and sharing a bunch of scary stories. The stories in The Silence Under Your Bed cover a wide range of themes, handled in different tones: serious, lighthearted, repulsive. Clicking the skull emoji will provide an optional content warning, and stories can be skipped. I will be clicking on the skulls and the stories will be timestamped, so if one in particular is a no thank you from you, you can skip right through. It's all good. The Silence Under Your Bed. Some night, somewhere. This is where I draw the line. Those slimy things ruin meals. Fungus, that's the word. I refuse to eat actual fungus. Move over pineapple, you're no longer the most controversial topping. Okay, no mushrooms. Got it. Shit. Pizza Paradise doesn't do online orders. I have to call them. Oh no, you got this? This is the true scary story right here. Yeah, oh no. Shh, I picked up. Hi, yes, I would like one pizza. What kind? Oh, any kind, yes, any pizza, thank you, you too. It'll be here in an hour. It'll be here in an hour. It could have gone worse. Pump the any pizza. Give them our address. These are all beautiful responses. Pumped to eat any pizza. I mean, it'll be up there with none pizza with left beef, right? Same, pal. What now? You know, it's spooky out. Wanna tell scary stories? Oh, you know it, you. Obviously. What'll it be? Toad to Ruin. I'm sorry, the name. The name! Now, I know last time in the other video I picked Cold Hands, which was great. I think it's the story that sticks out in my memory the best. Not to say it's not a very fuzzy memory, but definitely what I think of whenever I think of The Silence Under Your Bed. Again, recommend the other video if you want more scare. But tonight I'm thinking Frame 5170 sounds appealing. Of course, your content warning skull. Content warning. Frame 5170 contains jump scares, domestic abuse, violence towards an infant. So yeah, if that's not for you, then skip to the time on screen or use the timestamps in the description. Frame 5170 by Kevin Snow. I don't remember my dad's face. Spit an image of your old man, aunts and uncles tell me, at cookouts, at weddings, at funerals. Everyone says I look just like he did at my age, if I manage to break away from the conversations. I always try. They suck their teeth and train their eyes on me, observing me, analyzing me, until I make it to a bedroom, Mom's car. I hide there for hours sometimes. I do remember his voice, kind of. He never yelled at me, not directly, but he yelled about me. I remember hiding behind chairs, under tables, pressing my ear against walls to hear the muted thunderstorm in adjacent rooms, my own special performance, a promise of what could, what would come down. I hung on every word. No one says I sound like my dad, though. They say I look like him, and I don't remember his face. My Uncle Jeff, he always describes my dad's nose. Oh, the bridge protruded out, beautiful. a Greek sculpture, a Roman sculpture, and the tip flat and turned up like a bat, curved down like a bird, flat and turned up like a... Okay. No matter which portrait Jeff paints, he always reaches one conclusion. I sure do have my dad's nose. I don't have any pictures of my dad's face before the accident, before he died. He scratched himself out of family photos. There's a picture of me when I was little, sitting in a plastic high chair, Ninja Turtles bib, chocolate cake smeared all over. As a toddler, opening a Christmas present, impatient with the reindeer-covered wrapping. Dad's in the background, holding a soda can, beer can. His face a series of thick grooves, like a freshly tilled field. That album has 2 words engraved on the cover. Cherished moments. A freak accident. That's what his boss called it when my dad fell 40 feet to his death. And everyone's called it that since. Everyone says it kind of defensive. Mom thinks his boss blames himself, fears a lawsuit. And his side of the family doesn't talk about how he drank on the clock. I was 5. I didn't understand, mostly. Mom says I cried a lot, but if I did, it sure wasn't about his death. Didn't take much time for the rumors to start. She took him for granted, my grandma said. She nagged him to death, my grandma said. She drove him to drink, my grandma said. At the funeral, no one would look at my mom. She wandered the small Baptist church like a ghost. A week before the accident, I prayed for my dad to leave, to vanish, to die. I knelt beside the bed with my hands cupped, like I never do, and promised I wouldn't ask for anything else in my life. Please, Lord, take him away. Amen. There's still one record of Dad's face, a home video. I watch it every week, after his cold eyes, crooked teeth, sharp fangs have slipped from my memories. Mom labeled the front with permanent marker, motel pool. 1st of April, 96, I'm assuming. Either that or the 4th of January, but I'm assuming it's American dates. Motel pool, yeah. 22nd of February, 92. 12th of July, 94. The cassette shell pristine, but the tape inside is all cut up, like Dad ran it under a knife. He didn't get every frame, though. The small square pool of a Motel 6, located in rural Alabama, Minnesota, Colorado, smothered between scan lines. Mom holds the camera, the poolside director issuing commands from a vinyl chase, creating memories. I'm an infant held in Dad's arms. Static cuts Dad's head off at the neck, rolling up and down the television screen in waves. There's a part, though, after a bystander climbs out of the pool, after Mom fumbles with the camera, after I start to kick in the water, where Dad's face is visible despite the damage done to the tape. Around that time, I began to pause the video every other second to make sure I catch the right frame. Frame 4910. Dad lowers my body to the water. Frame 4968. Dad gently drops me into the pool. Frame 5021. Dad turns his head to face the camera. Frame 5072. Dad sinks below the surface. Frame 5122. Dad's hands reappear on the edge of the pool. Static floods the screen. From off-camera, strangers can be heard screaming. Oh! What? After the tape wraps around the spool, I put the cassette back in its paper sleeve, a record of a memory I've already forgotten. Okay, yeah, one very forbidden memory, apparently. VCR. Yeah, those old things at Goodwill. Before DVDs, ancient times. What do you call that monster? Dad, tape dude, scribblehead. I mean, realistically, he was Dad in the story, but at the same time, tape dude sounds exactly like the name a couple of teens would come up with. Tape dude. That's pretty cool. Hey, since we're telling stories, should we turn down the music? What? No. It's Cavolt? Is it? Alright. What next? I'm ready. Okay. Last time we picked a Bones Worth. I feel like, based on titles alone, MovieBrain and The Drowning Ritual both sound on theme for the other one, but I think I'm liking the media vibe, so let's see what MovieBrain's glorious content warning is. Body horror! Let's see what awaits us in MovieBrain. By Kevin Snow. MovieBrain has new recommendations. You'll love this new content. Will I? Our MovieBrain is overloaded with content. 97.8% of people sharing your characteristics loved this media. Blue-collar CEO, when a wealthy boss disguises himself as just one of the guys, it turns out he's hungry for not just success, but for empathy too. My Strange Shell. In this award-winning documentary, 12 interview subjects open up about their struggles living inside their bodies. If you don't want these communications, click here to unsubscribe. Well, that's the only option I seem to have. Request timeout. Nobody saw that coming. You'll love this new content. Anyone else hear the or else in brackets? Just for you, from Anime Adjacent. Gun School Fusion. Hinata Nakamura arrives at her dream school, Gun University, as an ancient conspiracy threatens her life. Will her bullets fly true? If you don't want these communications, click here to unsubscribe. Imagine that, another request timeout. Arriving 16th of October, The Truck Driver. Can we pick your MovieBrain? Coming October 16th, we have The Truck Driver. A humble man provides for his son as the last trucker, suffering silently in his own skin. Day-Lewis in an acclaimed performance. If you don't want these communications, click here to unsubscribe. Now it's just not found. MovieBrain has new recommendations. Our MovieBrain just defended its dissertation. There is a 95.6% chance a person with your friends will enjoy this content. The thing that keeps getting me about its little intro into its recommendations is it's never people who like the same things as you, people who watch this thing you will like. No, it's people with your interests, people with your characteristics. Like, I'm sorry, are you stalking me? Are you watching me through the screen? You know too much. Get Well Motel. Feeling under the weather? Patients learn the devastating truth about their family's medical history while resting off severe illness. And Survival Chef. 6 chefs are dumped into the wild to scavenge for resources. Can they prepare a full-course dinner without poisoning the judges? If you don't want these communications, click here to unsubscribe. 504 gateway timeout. I'm racking up the error messages. Take some time to finish up that content. Oops, you didn't finish your content. Pick up where you left on the Octo Widow. This handsome bachelor's first 8 wives didn't work out. Which of these 22 young contestants will win his heart? The one with the biggest bank account, maybe? If you don't want these communications, click here to unsubscribe. 408 request timeout. MovieBrain has new recommendations. Mason Wilson? Offended? It takes hard work to be good, and Mason Wilson isn't trying. The comedy legend takes no prisoners at Madison Square Garden. Sarko. In a society where the government persecutes fusions, rogue surgeon, Dr. Sarko carries a degree, a scalpel, and justice. If you don't want these communications, click here to unsubscribe. If you could. You'll love this new content. Nice and personalized, just the way we like it. From teeth, darling dental, canines, incisors, molars, every tooth is beautiful, as this 10-hour slideshow demonstrates. Leading experts praise our oral cavities. If you don't want these communications, click here to unsubscribe. 504 gateway timeout. Coming the 26th of the 10th, the Coalescence. Ready for a night in? Coming October 28th, we have the Coalescence. Liberation from our lonely enclosures, joined together, not as parasites, but equal bundles of cells and tissue, beautiful in fusion. Sing with many mouths the harmony of our shared condition. Breathe, 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 breathe. If you don't want these communications, click here to unsubscribe. Either we have an unhealthy interest in fusions, or foreshadowing. 400 badge request. Please locate your multi-user device. What? Please locate your multi-user device, then follow the instructions. Your friends await. Your family awaits. The new season of Housewives of Minneapolis awaits. And one of these things is not like the others. I thought Sarko sounded like a great show. Yeah, I'd watch that. No more Frankenstein stories. I'm done with found objects. I'm not complaining. That was enjoyable. I just thought it was going somewhere a little further. Necromancer Blues was the one that I picked last time. It's a little song one. If you are interested in checking out the other videos, it's nice. So let's see what Meah Boll is, other than making me think about meatballs. Content warning: Meah Boll contains jump scares, body horror, pets eating their owners, and worst of all, disgusting eating sounds. 'Cause that's the one that's gonna bother me. So, to those of you that are also bothered by disgusting eating sounds, I understand if you skip ahead. Prepare your eardrums. Once Again by Kevin Snow. My dog's first words were Meah Boll. Your dog's first words were things that sound a little too close to meatball. That's promising. Okay. Harold always barked weird. I used to upload videos to YouTube with titles like Dog Sounds Like a Human, What the Hell? That got me a few dozen subscribers. Nothing major. I think that really should have got a few more, but okay. Either he didn't stand out enough, or I'm not good with branding, or hell, both. Know that feeling. So these words, I thought at the time, were not human words, but more of his strange sounds. Then he repeated himself. Meah, Meah, Boll. His snout parted, his tongue folded and clicked, an awkward and desperate sound, similar to the squeak squeak of old wet shoes. I usually responded with playful talk. What was that, Harold? So wise. But in the moment it felt inappropriate, like an adult leaning down to talk to a teen. So I said nothing. He went back to grooming himself, and I wish I'd had my phone out, if not for the surely viral content, then to confirm what I had heard. When I met Harold, he was already 3. The shelter told me he'd lived on the street before landing there. He didn't socialize with the other dogs, or bark at anyone passing, so he went unnoticed until the day I let him out of his cage. He crawled into my lap and licked my face, eyes full of love, mouth full of slobber. I immediately called my landlord and filled out adoption papers. After that time, Harold spoke. I kept my phone in hand with the camera app idle in the background. I asked him, Meah Boll, Harold? What is Meah Boll? I put steak cubes in his food as a treat or a bribe. He added up, but said nothing. I dismissed it as an isolated incident. Until weeks later. I arrived home from a late night at the hospital. I was tired and didn't bother to set an alarm. I fell asleep quick. So quick, I don't remember Harold climbing into bed with me. Somehow, it wasn't the pain that woke me up, but the sound. The sound, I thought, of Harold eating wet food like chopped beef, or the spaghetti I sometimes shared from my own plate. I rubbed my eyes, trying to clear my vision, but instead I smeared something into my eyeball. I turned on my phone's flashlight, then saw blood on the screen, blood on my hand. Down the bed I saw Harold, blood on his mouth. He licked his matted fur and barked the strange sound, Meah Boll. I must have hurt myself coming home from work. Harold must have been worried about me, trying to clean me up. Or maybe Harold is an animal and I'm flesh. From then on, I slept with my door shut. I think it was around then that Harold started to change. Not in demeanor, but appearance. Or maybe I couldn't see him the same, my suppressed fear emphasizing his animal features in my mind. Were Harold's eyes always so human? His teeth? I spent days researching dog anatomy, making uncomfortable calls to local veterinarians. Then I started taking videos. At first, the videos were only for comparison purposes. If Harold were changing, quickly, not growing older over time, I thought videos would prove it. I ran out of space on my phone, then on my cloud accounts, so I started uploading the videos to YouTube. I didn't promote them. No tags, no custom thumbnails, no algorithm-friendly names, so I was surprised when people posted comments. That's not a dog, people said. Trolls, I thought, but then every comment was along the same lines. That's not a dog. Harold had haters. It must have been an organized harassment campaign from somewhere. I got defensive when people accused me of animal abuse, but I also felt an odd joy when new videos got dozens of replies in minutes, mostly puke emojis. I enjoyed, most of all, the reaction videos, thumbnails of strangers with their mouths agape and eyes wide in theatrical horror. Harold started to miss me, I guess. I heard scratching on my bedroom door at night, and a low, mournful whimpering. I felt guilty for ignoring him, and I missed him too. All the attention from strangers online made me feel lonelier. One night, Harold stared at me from the hallway as I shut the door. I felt cruel as I slid the chain lock in place. I'd worked a double shift, so it was late, and I'd gone through the day like a ghost, barely speaking with my co-workers. I woke up shortly after to the sound of scratching and whimpering. It was cold. I must have forgotten to turn the heat on. Harold would be warm. We'd warm each other. As I drew close to the door, I started to make out Harold's whimpering. Meah Boll, Meah Boll, Meah Boll. I unslid the chain lock, turned the knob, opened the door. Through the crack, I saw Harold. He wanted in. I remembered Harold's food dish, the kibble mixed with steak cubes. I love Harold so much. What people online don't understand is I'd do anything to take care of him. You know, even with all that, I'd still adopt Harold. I'm sorry, but is the implication there that, like, the owner is just like, you know what, I know he's gonna eat me, but I accept my fate? I'm choosing to interpret that as Harold being some kind of shape-shifting, unknown entity. But clearly has the big puppy dog eyes down to a T. Yeah, guard dog. Dog. Didn't we order a pizza? Yeah, I did, I think. That was 2 hours ago. Whatever, more stories. Okay, last time we picked Saint of Pantries. This time I'm thinking Deathbed Confession. Mostly because I already checked and Rock Slides has eating noises and I'm not prepared. I don't know why I'm talking into my candle like it's the microphone, but shh. Deathbed Confession, which is accidentally typoed as Saint of Pantries, contains body horror and terminal illness. Deathbed Confession by Cassandra Kaw. I used to volunteer at an old folks' home a few years back, before I wisened up to why you keep death behind church glass windows and don't sit with her at the lunch table. Talking smack about the girl with the bubblegum mouth, the shine of her lip gloss brighter than the damn day. Oh, okay then. It wasn't one of those facilities with just crotchety old men milling around contraband pornography, a Corona in one hand, a story in the other. People didn't go there to pretend that the party went on forever, lit up by a wine gold sunset, everything sun-sweetened and perfect. They went there to die. Don't get me wrong, this wasn't a bad thing. The facility wasn't concrete and rusted metal, 3 square meals of who gives a fuck. If anything, it was the opposite. The director cared for the residents. Our training revolved around acts of palliative compassion, salaried or volunteer. She made us understand how to do right by our guests. Karma, she told me softly once, voice as drowning thick as molasses. It'll get you every time. In the section I was assigned, there were 5 old guys. 2 World War II veterans, a traveling salesman who still had all of his own teeth, a burlesque coach, and this wizened rake of a man. He was 92? 95? No one knew for sure. And he was tall, legs so long his foot dangled from the foot of the bed. Thin, too, his skin notched by the pattern of bone beneath the surface. He was dying of everything a man of his age could be dying of, but he clung on, nonetheless. The weeks melted to months, the diagnosis piled up, but he wouldn't die. One day, as I was changing his bedpan, his urine red and stinking of raspberries, I said to him, "You really don't want to go, huh?" And he looked at me and he whispered, "I am trying. She won't let me." Something about his tone of voice, I left airily, fled almost. It took a week and a call to my mom before I could be curled back. I hadn't slept much those 7 days, couldn't sleep, not without dreaming of his skin under my fingers, a palimpsest of scar tissue pricked with moles, growths whorled into the soft space between his joints, cancers like fruit cloistered under his ribs, so many it felt like a harvest. I couldn't stop thinking of how he smelled, that sweet, rotten raspberry stink. Couldn't stop worrying at the memory of his voice. That rasp, the way he looked at me, calm as a nun. "She won't let me," he said. Who wouldn't let him? The day I came back, I spent most of my shift doing everything else, anything that'd keep me from going back to that room. But you can't keep running forever, so as the dusk blued the corridors, I crept back down to where he laid in his alcove of paisley curtains, buried in those ugly handmade pillows. I walked into his room and I saw her, backlit by the wolf light, tall, so tall the divot of her hip pressed itself to the ceiling, so thin that the sunset made a script of her knees, her spine, columns and characters of bone, and her hair, like blood or raspberries, falling over the old man's face as she leaned down, a finger moving to rest on his lips. He watched her approach like a lover, full of a yearning that made me uncomfortable, like seeing your parents in a passionate embrace. But I couldn't avert my eyes. I stared, dumbstruck, as the old man opened his mouth, and fingers of black fog reached out from his throat to spider around his jaw. Something was trying to pull itself free, struggling like a caterpillar trussed up in a web, grasping at teeth and chin, even the bridge of the man's nose. Anything it could reach for purchase, but the woman pushed down with that finger, down into the man's mouth, down until his throat accordioned and his neck let out a crack. She pushed down until her hand was swallowed to the wrist. Then she saw me. Headlight eyes, a mouth like a door. "Please don't kill me, please don't kill me, please don't kill me," and vanished. "She won't let me die," the old man croaked, when the silence had worn itself into something familiar. So I helped. I guess you think this is a deathbed confession. I mean, the accident was bad, but the truth is that I just wanted you to know, just wanted to make sure you understood this was because I felt bad for him. Nothing else. I can repeat the story if you like, as many times as you want, whenever you want. She won't let me die, after all. So the director was the ghost? What? No. Your parents told you stories, right? Really bad ones. Right, the ones with lessons. So we wouldn't lose the remote or whatever. Let's do one of those. Oh boy. All of these are new, which means either there was an update or I didn't go through everything years ago. Well, let's go eat your peas. Eat your peas contains jump scares, food, insisting that food be eaten. Okay, so don't leave the table and enjoy your jump scare. Cool. Eat Your Peas by Kevin Snow. Turn to your neighbor and read this one out loud. No one around? Maybe you should look closer. There was a kid who never ate their greens. Could be any kid, but let's call them Aiden. Aiden's mom tried everything at the supermarket. Carrots, zucchini, avocados, but the kid wouldn't give them a chance. Every argument ended with vegetables at the bottom of a trash can. Until Aiden made the mistake of trying a spoonful of peas. They spit them out pronto, but that was enough. Mom had made some traction. From then on, it was peas with every meal. Turn to your neighbor here and look determined. Cross your arms, whatever works. Eat your peas, Aiden. Eat your peas. Aiden couldn't catch a break. They started hiding peas in their shirt and dumping them in their bedroom closet. The peas didn't stop, but Mom's insistence did. Things calmed down. Until one night. When Aiden drifted off to sleep, they heard a low sound from their closet. It's gonna be ghost peas.
Eat your peas.
Aiden ran downstairs. Mom, she was still in bed, sound asleep. Must have been the wind. Yeah, definitely not the ghost peas. Just the wind. Just the wind. Aiden couldn't mention any of this to their mom, because they'd have to confess about the hidden closet peas. Some people got skeletons in the closet. Poor Aiden has peas in the closet. That night, Aiden heard the same sound coming from their closet.
Eat your peas.
Good job on the creepy voice. This time, Aiden didn't run away. They slid out of bed and tiptoed to the closet. An unearthly green light shined from the space underneath the door. Aiden slowly pulled open the door. Now, open your eyes real wide and say this next part extra loud. Jump scare in 3, 2... Oh, it's a pea skeleton! Best of both worlds. Huh, can't believe your mom thought that would work. It's a ridiculous story. Yeah, so ridiculous. I've never been scared of a pea monster in my life. Hey, Aiden. I gotta get this off my chest. Yeah, we're good. What about it? You always say it like Cavalt. But it's just cult with weird letters. You've pronounced it wrong for years. I looked it up. I'm so sorry. It's okay, Aiden. I too would pronounce it wrong. Oh, wow! The longer I kept it from you, the worse it felt. It's alive. It's festered for years. Pizza, pizza, pizza! Was that the doorbell? Yeah. Pizza? Pizza? Hello? It's been hours. Why is the door just open? I have no idea. Time to leave, I think. That would be the smart idea. So any pizza's a person? What? You know how I said the cold hands one rattles around in the back of my head in a fuzzy, not quite memory from last time? Yeah, I think the I already can't. The Deathbed confession one might be the one this time around. And until next time, whenever you order any pizza at the pizza place, maybe clarify that you do want a food and not a mysterious entity at your door. Just maybe. Just maybe.